Vipassana meditation system supposedly lost for a few thousand years, that was brought through by the Buddha. Vipassana is a practice that enables you to live life more fully, more naturally. Again, it's a universal teaching, so it's for everyone. You don't have to believe in anything, you don't have to follow any gods or goddesses or anything of that nature. Vipassana is based on universal laws. Universal laws is a practice and an understanding of a system that anyone and all humans can partake in without having to stop being a Christian, a Muslim, or whatever you are. So it's for everyone, it's universal. And it's based on observing yourself. Observing yourself as you are, not as you would like to be, not as you're supposed to be, or any of those things. It's observing yourself at the deepest level. It enables you to be able to do that. Observe yourself at the deepest level. So it's based on universal law. These laws are connected to your breath. So the first part of the practice of Vipassana, very practical, is you observing your breath as it is. Whether it's a hard breath, whether it's a slow breath, whether it's a fast breath, whether it's a breath that you can't identify, just your breath as it is. This is the fundamental basic practice of the breathing technique, the meditation technique of Vipassana. So therefore, because it's your own breath, and the way that your breath is not regulated, it's not interfered with, it's just as it is. Like when you're walking about doing your daily life, you don't take any notice of your breath. It's just happening. You're not watching it, you're not doing anything with it. So with the Vipassana, the difference is that you're observing your breath. You know, I mean, some of us have noticed when we're in a certain state of emotion, we've noticed the breath has changed. It can be shallow if you have a fear, and so on and so on. Maybe if you're feeling so happy, blissful, it might be very slow and very so on and so on. So some of us observe the breath sometimes, we know of the breath sometimes that it changes. Most of us who have not specifically done Vipassana have never observed the breath as it is. Just as it is. Now, it sounds very simple thing to do. Just watch your breath. But what you'll notice is when you do this practice that it's a very hard thing to do. Because from doing that, you will get in touch with that the mind, your mind, you don't have any control of. That your mind will always be running to the past somewhere or to the future. The mind finds it very difficult to stay in the present, in the now, because you can't live in the past and you can't live in the future, because then the future is not here yet and the past has gone. Nothing you can do with the past. But in observing your breath here, right now in the present, you get to notice and observe. Fundamental truth is that your mind finds it very difficult to just stay and observe the breath. So the basic universal thing is that all of us breathe. If you've not done a Vipassana practice, you've never observed your breath over a period of time. And to see that from observing your breath, you can get many other realizations. But the first realization is that you don't have any control of your mind. Now, if you are a Buddhist, or a Taoist, or Islamist, or Al-Kebulan, you know, you're all of these different things, surely you would want to be the master of your mind. And this is what this technique teaches you, how to become master of your mind. Now, experiencing happens on many levels. When you experience yourself at the present, the actual, that is true to only you. What you're experiencing now is true to only you. It's not true to what someone told you about. It's not true to what's supposed to be. It's only true to the present right now. So the basic of the fundamental foundation of Vipassana practice is to observe yourself at the actual level, which is natural law. And from doing that, you start now having the insight into controlling your mind. In controlling the mind and observing the mind, you get to see that your mind works on two modalities. It has aversions and it has cravings. So most of us, and you will be very clear about this when you do a 10-day retreat, that most of us function on those two bases. We're either trying to push something away or we're trying to hold on to something. And both of those realities cause you to suffer. Very, very simple. So if you can now, through the practice, have a system that enables you to allow the mind to experience without reacting either with aversions or with craving. This will start to give you an insight into that you have many memories that your life is based on either the aversions or the cravings. Another insight you will have and understand and look into is that having wholesome actions that do not disturb other people's life, actions that do not disturb your inner peace. You will also have an insight into that. So the basic understanding of a Vipassana 10-day retreat, what you do when you get there, you obviously have to register online or maybe through some forms that you may get. It's a 10-day retreat. It's a noble silence retreat. So there's no talking for 10 days, because when you're doing the practice is that you're gonna be going deep into the self, to know yourself on the deepest level. And the breath is one of the first basic, very simple practice to enable you to do that. The next one will be the sensations, which I will go into at another time, maybe later on. So when you go on the 10-day retreat, you make a vow that you will stay there for 10 days, because it takes 10 days to have an insight and to be able to evaluate this practice. 10 days, and every term and condition or vows that you make is made for your own benefit. So no talking, no disturbance from your fellow practitioners. For 10 days you are as if you're a monk. You're there on your own. You are not allowed to, or you make a vow not to make any eye contact, not to talk to anyone on any level. And this is for your benefit, which you will experience when you're there. And some other natural, violations that people may make if they're told not to, sexual misconduct, killing, lying, thieving, all the kind of basic things which probably are in the commandments. and they're in many spiritual practice. So these are all for your benefit. For the 10 days, you're there to just follow the vows that you made. The first day, so you're giving vegetarian food for the 10 days. Very nice food, vegetarian food. I've now become a vegetarian again after going recently for my 10 days. And each day the meal's actually different. Breakfast is amazing, a whole range of cereals, all natural food. The Vipassana 10-day is free. It's only based on donation, so you give a donation at the end of the 10-day. Day 1, you're given a space to sit on the meditation hall where you will stay for the rest of the 10 days. You will always sit in that space. Every day you get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and you start your practice. There's 4 sessions that you do in the day that you have to meditate. So for 4 times a day, from 4 o'clock till 9 o'clock, you have to meditate for an hour 4 times. That meditation is based on the first 3 days of observing your breath as it is, which you will find very challenging and very informative. You know, you will get to know yourself. The next rest of the days, you observe your body sensations, which I will go through another time. Again, you will observe your body sensations as they come, as you experience them, not with no preference, just as they are. Very, very simple. Very simple. So every day, 4 o'clock in the morning, up until 9 o'clock, where you'll have a discourse, you're meditating. And in between those times, when you, with the 4 hours, you will have an option whether you want to meditate or not. It's a wonderful experience, and it's for all people. Whatever race you are, you breathe. Whatever race or religion you are, you have body sensations, but you just did not make the link that these body sensations and this breath can liberate your mind and purify your mind on the deepest level. Thank you very much for your time. There will be some other videos.